What is up, guys and girls? It is Weird Game Adventure Gospel Edition again with Conquest of Azeroth, the 21 class private WoW server. All right, I got that out pretty smooth that time, like today. Today, I'm going to be playing Witch Hunter, which I hear is very, very mobile. So without further ado, we're just going to go ahead and jump into that. Well, right off the bat, we have 4 different abilities, it looks like. So I guess let's read them off one by one. Coiling Shot, 4 mana, 20 yard range, instant cast, an instant shot that deals normalized weapon damage, generates 10 rage, increasing the dodge chance, increases your dodge chance by 10% for 2 seconds. That seems pretty alright. Weapon Swap, 1.5 second cast, requires melee weapons. Switch between your dual crossbows and your blazing blade. With crossbows equipped, you deal additional damage and gain access to bolt slinger abilities, but are restricted from all melee attacks. While blazing blade is equipped again, you gain access to inquisitor abilities. Alright. We got Saber Slash, 4 mana, melee range, instant cast, requires melee weapon, slashes an enemy for normalized weapon damage, and generates 20 rage. Then we got Slayer's Mark, 30 yard range, instant cast. You mark an enemy, causing you to fire a crossbow bolt at them for 7 to 10 physical damage every 3 seconds or for 1 minute. You will only fire bolts while facing your target and at least 5 yards away from them. While marked, your critical strike chance with physical attacks against the target is increased by 10%. Only one target can be marked at a time. Interesting, so I can just... Oh, they're drinking a potion, but my melee ability becomes active. I like the look of the sword. The sword looks nice with the hilt, the little gem on there. You see? And then I can go back to this, and then I've got access to Coiling Shot, and I've got like 2 crossbows. Let's see what happens when I look at this. Let's see this. Okay, so we've got they're still called crossbows. Maybe if I reopen, they're not crossbows anymore? No, they're still crossbows. Interesting. Do I have any ammo? I do have ammo, so I'm going to need ammo. Alright, well, let's just get the question then. So, let's take a look at how this is. Oh. This is funky looking. I've got an invisible bow and gun you can't see. So I noticed that we have a buff over here that changes based on our spec. And the melee one is called Blazing Blade. It says allows the use of abilities from the Inquisitor School. Purity. Your melee auto attacks add 1 stack of sensed evil to the enemy. Wickedness. Your melee auto attacks consume 1 stack of sensed evil to deal additional fire damage. So I guess you apply and then consume. Like, so 2 attacks to get a benefit from this. And then we can switch it over to dual crossbows. Says you cannot deal damage in melee. Your range attack power is increased by 25% of your agility. Allows the use of abilities from the Bolt Slinger School. Interesting. Let's see our melee abilities here. Alright, well, doing melee looks normal. So I've noticed, like, I can come up here and I can auto attack them with my bows. But it doesn't count as a ranged attack, so you can't like ranged auto attack with them, which is why I guess Slayer's Mark exists, since you attack every 3 seconds for 1 minute, and it's got like literally no cooldown. So it's an interesting way. It seems like there was some like game mechanics keeping them from just making like crossbows like ranged attacks or whatever. So I guess they had to add in Slayer's Mark. The damage of this class is pretty nice early on, at least. You know what I mean? I'm actually enjoying this so far. I like the instant cast range abilities, you know, and I'm sure it'll just feel better as time goes on. Oh, we leveled up. Alright, what do we have? We have Vault. Surge forward up to 25 yards, regenerating 15% of your maximum mana, and it's also 20 rage. Instant cast. Oh, okay. So we can jump around here. Can I do it while after jumping? Oh, I can. That's pretty nice. I like that. I'm down for the mobility. I actually really like mobile classes in MMOs. I played like Dark Runner and Arcade, if any of y'all are familiar with that game. It was a very, very mobile class. But yeah, mobility is one of my favorite things in an MMO. So I'm pleased with this class already. This ability works well even going up hills, which I didn't think it would. But it totally does. Very nice. One thing to note is that the vault ability here is off GCD, so you can use it while casting other abilities and stuff. You see what I did there? It was pretty cool. All right, level 5, and we got a new ability, Fury Shot, 15 range, 20-yard range. Instant cast, 3-second cooldown, deals 150% weapon damage to the target and generates 10% of your maximum mana. This ability drains up to 0 rage from the target. Interesting, a rage drainer. Okay, so I had a sword. I had to pick the sword from the earlier quest, and I equipped it. It's not short sword of power, and yeah, it just turned into a crossbow. So I guess you just can use anything as a weapon and it'll attack. Crossbow. One thing I was considering doing is having a series on the Season 7 Project Ascension. Now, I don't know like how to make a really good build, so it would be just like, let's see if we can scrounge something together, right? Like I know how to theory craft. I'm pretty good at theory crafting in games in general. However, would it work in Ascension? I have no idea. So just curious if you guys would be interested in something like that, because I could have fun doing that, I think. So let me know in the comments. Okay. So I just got level 6, and I was able to equip this green bow. I think the crossbows are for show or just stat sticks in general, because when I actually increased my damage is when I like equip this bow. So for the ranged abilities, all that comes from your range slot. One thing the game could use is a little bit more clarity, since, you know, the bow actually scales your range attacks, but then you have these like crossbows in your hand and you're like, oh, where does this all come from? And it definitely comes from your bow for your range attacks. I'm sure your melee attacks come from whatever melee weapons you have equipped. So that could be something that could use a little bit more clarification, because I wasn't sure at first. Although you are animating as if there's an invisible bow in your hand, so maybe that's on me. Alright, we are level 7. What do we get? We get Punishing Bolt, 12 mana, 20-yard range, instant cast, 2.5 second cooldown, fires a crossbow bolt at the enemy target, dealing 200% weapon damage and generating 15 rage. Your next Saber Slash within 6 seconds of this ability will always critically strike. Can only be used within 2 seconds of coiling shot. So that's interesting. It's an ability that lets you kind of combo from going range to melee. That's interesting. It feels like this class is going to be weaving in and out of you know, that was a critical strike. That's pretty good. Yeah, but it feels like the class is going to be weaving in and out of melee range and stuff. It's going to be an interesting play style for sure. All right, level 10. What do we get? We got Dawnblade, 30 rage, melee range, 30 rage, melee range, instant cast, 7% cooldown, requires melee weapon, deals 750% weapon damage to an enemy, and generates 8% of your maximum mana. This ability grants purity. Interesting. Purity. Your abilities will trigger their purity effects. I guess that's for like leveling up sometime in the future. We'll have stuff that has purity on it. Alright, well, that is my first impression of the Witch Hunter. I really had never played it before today, and so far I actually really like it, solely because it seems to have like this nice weapon switch mechanic where you're going melee and you're going ranged, and then you've got a ton of mobility here with Vault. So I'm eager to see how it turns out in the later levels, so I probably actually will level this one to 30. I think this class, Reaper and Necromancer have been my favorite classes so far. So yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace!